Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is something called composite functions. Okay, have you done composite functions yet? Compositions? No. Okay, so what does the word composite mean? Think baseball. Baseball players. What's composite mean? Okay, so you have a composite bat, right? What's so important about a composite bat? Okay, what? It's made of two different materials, and they take the two materials and they put it together to make a new material, right? And that's how we get composite bats. So composition in music is we take different notes and we put them together and we get this composition. All right, so when we talk about composite functions, what we're doing is we're taking two functions or more and we're putting them together to make one new function. So that's what a composition is, okay? So it's basically just a fancy way to say substitution. We're going to learn how to do fancy substitution. You guys all know how to do substitution already, so this shouldn't be life-changing. It's just going to be a little bit different, okay? All right, so composition of functions. We have some funky notation that we haven't seen before, but we have two ways of writing the composition of two functions. Now, repeat after me. F of G of X. Repeat after me. F of G of X. Did I say it any differently? Okay, so the two notations are exactly the same. They have the same meaning, they just look different. You see this little dot in there? It's actually an open circle. It does not mean multiplication. That does not mean multiply F and G together. Okay, so it's just a different notation. All right, so basically what this means is we're going to take the output of G of X and we're going to use it as the input for F of X. So you take what comes out and you put it in. So what the heck does that mean, right? We don't know. Okay, so F of G of X. Are you ready? You will remember this. You're already laughing at me. No laughing at me. All right, so I have this big function F of X, right? Okay. It's this big monster F of X. It eats stuff, okay? When you eat something, where does it go? It goes into your belly, right? So this monster ate G of X. Where is it? So F of X ate G of X. And where'd it go? Went inside of it, right? Okay, so when we start talking about composite functions, if it looks like this and the big F is hovering over the G and it's eating it, we're going to be putting that G into F, okay? If it's the other way around and I have the G first and the F inside, then the F is going to go into G. Okay, so let's look at our first one. So I'm going to use the rule, and I'm going to find what is F of G of X when F of X equals 2x plus 3 and G of X equals x squared minus 1. Okay, so again, we've got this funky notation, right? Another way that I can write it is like this, same thing. So what's eating what? The F is eating the G. The G is going into the stomach of the F, okay? So that's literally what's going to happen here. Now, G, that whole G, x squared minus 1, is going to go into F. Where do you think it's going to go in F? When we substitute, where do we normally substitute things in for? For the variable, what's the variable? X. So we're going to take that whole thing here and we're going to plug it in for the variable of X. Okay? So again, it's just fancy substitution. That's all it is. Are you ready? Say yes. Yes. Okay. So we want, and you're going to write this every single step, F of G of X. New kid, you can either take notes in your notebook or you can put them in your calculator. I don't care what you choose to do as long as you write them down or have them inputted. Got it? Okay. Okay, so again, I'm going to put all of G into F. And I don't like where that's written. Okay, so I've got my 2, right? And then in for my X, I'm going to put, but I still have my So what's the only thing that changed? The x. Okay, again, just substitution. That's all it is. So what do you think I do next? Good, I got to distribute that, right? All right. How do I distribute it? Somebody tell me what I get. Awesome. So all I did was distribute. And then last step, combine my like terms. And now I have my composition function. That's it. Yep, got to write it every time. I didn't say it was hard. I said it was different. Different doesn't mean hard.
No, but I was asking like they thought it was hard. I didn't understand it. Like why it was substitute.
We all have trouble with different things, dear.
So if we watch this video, this is what's gonna happen.
We're moving along.
Oh yeah.
Okay, are you ready? Say yes. Yes, you have to write it every time. Oh my God. Okay. So, on the next page, I have the steps all written out for you. Nice. You're welcome. Yes, I know. You wrote it twice now. You didn't. You wrote it once. But I have it there just in case. Maybe you messed up. I have it there for you. Okay? So, on the next page, oops. Okay. So on the next page here, we start talking about evaluating these composition functions at a value of x. Okay? So instead of taking the two functions and putting them together, we start to figure out what they are numerically. All right? So what I have here, I'm not sure why I have this. I'm going to delete that. What I have here is I have 2x plus 3 for my f of x. My g of x, I have x squared minus 1. Okay? We know that we went through and we found f of g of x. We're good with that, right? Somewhat. What if I want to find x at -4 and x at 7? So we're going to do this two ways. We're going to do it using the calculator, and we're going to do it algebraically. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, so I want to find f of g of -4. Okay, this is my first one. I want to find f of g of -4. Okay, so here's the hint here. It's still a composition of two functions, but we're evaluating at a value of x. Now, when we're dealing with these, you're always working right to left. Okay, we're always working right to left. And again, this is just substitution. Okay? So I want to take and I want to find what g of -4 is. So how do I figure out what g of -4 is? This isn't new. You've been doing this forever. How do I find g of -4? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an S. We're going to substitute, right? What are we going to substitute -4 in for? X. In what function? F of x or g of x? G of x, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to find g of -4 by plugging in -4 for x, okay, in this function here. All right, so you're going to take -4, you're going to plug it in g of x. I'm sorry, my bun is in your way. Okay, what's -4 squared? 16 minus 1? 15. Okay, so I know what g of -4 is. It's 15, right? G of -4, this whole piece right here, is 15. So what am I going to find next? If I know this is 15, what am I finding next? Say it. F of 15. Okay, so you're taking the output and using it as the input. Take the output, you use it as the input. Okay? And we're going to do this a bunch of times. So if you're not getting it yet, don't worry. Okay, so we're replacing 15 for x. in my function f of x. So we get 2 times 15 plus 3. And what do I get? 33. Okay. So the way you write your answer, f of g of negative 4 equals 33. Do we ever circle our answers? No, we do not. Okay. Hi. Okay, I want you guys to try and find f of g of 7. Follow the same steps we did here and work your way down. Okay, I'm going to pause here and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, guys, let's talk about it. Ready? Okay, so again, we're working right to left. So first step is to find g of 7, right? First step is to find g of 7. So take our g of x and we plug in that 7. Okay, and you got what? 48. Awesome. We're good there? What do we do with the 48? Good. We're going to put it in for f of x. So f of 48. So 2 times 48 plus 3. You get 99. How many people got that? Awesome. Okay. So now the way you write your answer, f of g of 7 equals 99. Okay, and we're going to learn how to do this on the calculator now too. You kid, don't stress yet. I know I'm going fast. You're just not used to the pace of this. It's okay. No, I don't care if you need to use ladies' room. This is it. Yeah. Okay. So you want to learn how to do it on the calculator? You have to. You don't have a choice. That's what we're going to do. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so you got it, new kid? All right, back to your calculator, please. On the right-hand side of this page, I have a calculator page. See it there? Okay, so you're going to swipe and click over on that side so that you're on the calculator side. Okay, so there is a way to do this on the calculator, and that's by using something called define. So what I want you to do is hit menu. Did this pop up? Actions, define. Okay, menu, actions, define. So what we're going to do is we're going to define f of x and we're going to define g of x. Okay, so f of x equals 2x plus 3. So we're just typing in what it equals. And then we're hitting enter. And it should say done. Okay. We're going to do the same thing for g of x. Menu, actions, define. G of x, and notice every time I say of, it's an open parenthesis, right? Oops. Equals x squared minus 1. Enter. We good? Okay, so now here comes the easy part. Okay? Escape. Okay, so menu, actions, define. Now g of x. Means, okay, so what done means is that your calculator now reads f of x as the actual function, which in our case is 2x plus 3, and it reads g of x as the function x squared minus 1. Okay, so here comes the easy part. If I want to evaluate it at a number, this does not work when we're actually doing the composition, but if I want to evaluate it at a number, all I have to do is f of g of, so again, every time I say of, it's open parentheses, negative 4. And then I'm going to do what? Enter. Did we get what we got algebraically? Awesome. So now we're going to do f of g of 7. And I should get 99. Okay, so this is how we do it on the calculator. Do you have to know how to do it out by hand? Yes, absolutely. Okay, but if it's a multiple choice question, I don't care if you use define, use it. That's what it's there for. Okay? All right. Pardon me. Okay, so we've been finding f of g, right? So now I want to find g of f. Is it going to be the same thing? No. Okay? So we're working in another direction. Now, what's eating what this time? The g is eating the f. So I'm taking my entire function f of x and I'm plugging it in for x and g of x. Okay, so we're working backwards. It's not going to be the same as f of g of x. The compositions are different. Okay? Okay, stop it. Okay, so we're going to do the composition. So again, this is the substitution one, right? We're not evaluating a number, we're actually doing the composition. So we're taking all of f of x, that 2x plus 3. And I'm doing what to it? Squaring it. And then I'm subtracting 1. Okay, so it's just substitution. How do I square a binomial? Foil. Good. When I square a binomial, I have to FOIL this out, okay? Which means I got to write it twice. Don't forget to bring down that -1. Where did Julia go? Okay. Let's FOIL. What do I get when I FOIL? And I need to remember my, okay. So all I did was I FOILed, right? So g of f of x equals, combine my like terms, 4x squared plus 12x plus 8. Okay, and that's it. That's my composition. All right, so you have to know how to do it. Nope, we don't need to factor it. You have to know how to evaluate it at a number, and you have to know how to find the actual composition as well. Okay, we're going to do lots of practice with this. Okay, probably shouldn't have missed the first half of class. I know. Okay. Can I make this go away? Right, I already have it all written out for you as well. That was nice of me, right? Okay, so I want you to use the define function, and I want you to find me g of f of -4, and I want you to find me g of f of 7. Is it going to be the same thing? No. Okay, so here's what we found the composition to be. You don't need that. Okay, you're going to define f of x. You're going to define g of x on the calculator like I showed you. And then you're going to find g of f of negative 4 and g of f of 7. All right, I'm going to pause here and come around and help you. Okay, so the first one I want to find is g of f of negative 4. So I have to do my menu actions define, right? Okay, we're going to put in my f of x equals 2x plus 3. Then menu actions define. I have to do my g of x as well. We are giggly today, aren't we? X squared minus 1. We okay? All right, so g of f of negative 4 gives us 24. And g of f of 7, oops, I lost parentheses, gives us 288. Okay, again, you can use define. You also have to know how to do it by hand. Okay? And we're going to do lots of practice tomorrow with this as well. So, quiz is going to be moved to Monday because half of you won't be here. We're going to practice with compositions tomorrow. Okay? Your homework is both sides of that sheet. Do what you can. Okay? Go back in your notes, see how you did things. And again, we're going to practice tomorrow. So, weekly project will be due Monday. All right? Okay? Thanks, guys. Quiz Monday.